What's up, everybody? I just saw Captain America Civil War, and I wanted to come in and give a quick review and a little bit of my thoughts on the movie. So, there will be spoilers. I will be saying some things that happen in the movie that you might not want to know about. So, if you don't want to know, haven't seen the movie yet, click off now. Do not watch this. Do not send it to a friend. Anything. Okay? I'll give you 3 seconds. Okay, I didn't count it, I just guessed. But, so, now that's out of the way, here it is. Going into the movie, I was, of course, excited. I loved all the Avengers movies. People wanted to say some things about Age of Ultron. I thought Age of Ultron was awesome. And so I was excited about this film. There were a few things going into it I was wondering about. I wanted to see how they were going to pull off the Civil War, what was going to spark it. I wanted to see how they were going to portray Spiderman and, of course, Black Panther. So, everybody was excited about seeing those two show up on film in the MCU for the first time. So, let me start off by saying the movie was really good. It was really good. The reviews are even reflecting that. It hasn't even been released in the US yet. It's over 200 million already. And the reviews are all justified. The positive reviews are justified. It's a really good film. So there was a lot of action. There was a lot of fun to it. There was a little bit more seriousness to it than some of the others. And it was just an overall really good ride and a really good addition to the MCU. I think everyone's gonna love it. They're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna do very well. I did have a couple of issues with it. And so one of the issues was that it seemed to start off really slow in the beginning. It was just a lot of exposition. It was, a lot of history, a lot of different setups and stuff. And so what was the reason why I thought it was slow and I was feeling a little uneasy about it was because usually when that happens, that means they're going to skimp on the action at the end and they're going to put it into like a small area. But this wasn't the case. In this film, there's still plenty of action, even though it slowly gets started. But there were so many things to introduce. I can see why it had to start off. It started off the way that it did. It's setting up a lot of different things that are all going to come together. But it does not. Cut back on the action at all. I don't think it's as action-packed as Age of Ultron, but there's still plenty of action to be seen throughout the movie. So that was good. Of course, it's a Civil War. That means that you got two sides. You got Team Cap and you got Team Iron Man. They think that the Avengers need to be reined in because of some of the things that had happened before and all the wanton destruction that has happened when the Avengers are around fighting baddies. And I thought the reason for that was really unjustified in a lot of ways, because they cited what happened in Manhattan. That was an alien attack. That was not the Avengers' fault. There was destruction because of that alien attack. And if they remember, which they apparently didn't in the movie, and no one brought it up, was that the government was going to nuke Manhattan. Like there's like 7 or 8 million people living there, and the government was going to nuke Manhattan. Now, any destruction that the Avengers might have been a part of during that invasion is nothing compared to nuking Manhattan and killing 7 or 8 million people. So I think the government needed to be reined in on that one. The next one was what happened in DC during Winter Soldier. That was Hydra taking over SHIELD, and it came out that Hydra was half of SHIELD and had been since the beginning. Again, that wasn't the Avengers' fault. The Hydra was going to steal those helicarriers anyway, and they were going to cause destruction. So it's not really their fault. There was the incident in Sokovia. That's Tony Stark's fault. Ultron, all Tony Stark's fault and his paranoia. And then there was a scene in this movie where the Avengers were in Lagos, Nigeria, trying to stop someone stealing a biological weapon, and they did create some damage, and some people did die, which some of those people were some Wakandan Peace Corps type of people, which is what brought the Wakandans in. So those incidents brought about which came known as the Sokovia Accord, which they wanted to place the Avengers under the control of a panel that was overseen by the UN, and that meant the Avengers couldn't go anywhere or act without that panel's approval, and they had to only go where that panel wanted them to go, and so that created the rift there. Captain America wasn't having that, saying, this is becoming more political and whatnot. And what if they send us to places that we don't think we should be, going? They want to use us as a weapon type of thing. So I thought that was a little weak as far as that. But like I said, it worked out pretty well. Now, Spider-Man was done very well. I think the actor did a great job. The only, his strength was showcased. I was worried about his strength being an issue. They don't always show Spider-Man as strong as he is, but they handled that properly. They handled that pretty well. I was wondering how they were going to figure him in, because in the comic, he shows his secret identity and to the world, and then the only way to get it back was he had to make a deal with Mephisto, who's basically Lucifer, to erase everyone's memory and reset it so no one knows it. And they haven't really dealt with magic and stuff like that in the MCU as yet, so I was wondering if they were even going to bring that in, but they didn't, and Spider-Man did not reveal his identity to anyone, so I thought that was good. But somehow Stark knew who Spider-Man was, and that Peter Parker was him. He went to his apartment and recruited him, and hit on Aunt May, who's now young and kind of like hot. So yeah, that I wanted to know how Tony knew who his secret identity, but it is what it is, I suppose. And really, if you think about it, as far as secret identities goes, in the MCU, no one on the Avengers has a secret identity. I think the only superhero that has one now, it would be AntMan, and now, of course, Spider-Man. Now, Black Panther was awesome. He came in, he kicked butt from the beginning. It was like no taking shorts. He was just wrecking stuff from the beginning. He was like so bad that he put claw marks in Cap's shield. So, yeah. Yo. I'm so ready for the Black Panther movie. So that was really dope. So I think they handled both of those characters really well. Now, after the big fight scene at the airport, not Bucky, but Rhodes was hurt really bad. He didn't die. No one died. He was hurt really bad. He was kind of paralyzed, but he's going through rehab. Half of the team was arrested, and Cap breaks him out of prison later on, so he's a fugitive. They're all fugitives. The thing I didn't like as far as Black Panther goes is when they got caught by the authorities in one of the other scenes, he just pulls his mask off and reveals himself. He's now the king of Wakanda. This could have diplomatic implications. I don't like revealing identities in films. I don't think it's a good idea. I think secret identities should stay as secret identities. I don't like when they did that. That was disappointing to me. But other than that, it was good. Ant-Man came in, and in the fight, he shrunk down, did some fighting there, but he also grew and went into giant mode, which I thought was interesting, because if you watch DC's Legends on TV, this recent episode, they had Adam do the same thing. So I think someone over at DC saw the Avengers and decided, okay, let's get ours out there before that movie hits the US, and then it looks like we did it first. But it doesn't matter. Civil War did everything better. So great movie. You should watch it. It's really a setup for the other films. So it's setting up the next step in the Avengers. It's setting up Black Panther's film. So they show the Black Panther, a Black Panther film scene, not film scene, but they show a scene in Wakanda mid-credits. And at the end of the credits is a Spider-Man scene. So they're setting up the Spider-Man film. So it was really a good movie, and it set up a lot of the stuff going forward. So I think it's going to be really dope. There were a couple of CGI issues, no big deal. When Ant-Man went from little to very large, he became Giant Man for a little bit there. You could tell, it looked a little bit fake, but I mean, of course it is. So, other than that, great movie. You're going to watch it again and again. It's going to do ridiculous numbers at the box office. It's setting up for all the movies. I'm really excited about it going forward. I'm looking forward to how they're going to do Spider-Man. I really want to see Black Panther. They really did that very well. Like I said before, they portrayed them as strong. It's good all the way around. The Avengers are in shambles right now, so we're going to see what happens going forward with them. All right, so check it out. Hit me up. Leave comments below and let me know what you think about it, what you thought about the movie, if you have seen it, if you haven't seen it, if you're going to see it, if you don't want to see it, if you don't care. Just let me know what's going on. All right, like, subscribe, thumbs up, and peace.